Hello, my viewers. Welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. The divisional round is set. The divisional games are set. We're seeing the wild card weekend. Some crazy games that happened. A lot of most of the games, I think all the games but one was blowouts. So you look at the first game of the weekend was Texans and Browns. You see how CJ Stroud, who was the underdogs coming into that game, how they went out there and handled business. The 2 pick sixes against the Browns as well to help them out a lot too, and him playing almost flawless in the first half, and when he got the ball back in a little bit, but he did most of his damage in the first half and kind of decided most of the game right there. And then you look at the following game later that day, which was the Dolphins and the Chiefs, and the Dolphins had a little juice at one point. And I think it was when it was down 10-0, they scored a touchdown, made it 7-10, and then after that, they just couldn't get anything going. After that and stuff, like they kind of like got a little stagnant and stale, and Chiefs won that game. I think it was 26-7, right, if I'm not mistaken. But the Chiefs won that game. And then you look at the first game of the day on Sunday, which was the Packers and the Cowboys, and the Packers had a lead at one point that was 27-0. Then he was up at 48-16 at one point as well. Packers went out there and scored almost every drive. They had the ball. They was going out there and scoring, making plays, making things happen, and they just blew out the Cowboys. The Cowboys kind of cut it a little closer at the end like that, made it, I think they lost 32-48, but it was a blowout. That was a garbage time stats. And you see that game right there was just crazy. And the Lions and then the Rams had a big time game. Now that one was a very good game, back and forward, down the wire, down the stretch. The Rams coming up a little short against the Lions. The Lions getting their first playoff win in 32 years. It was absolutely amazing to see, an amazing sight to see for the Lions fans, for Detroit fans in general, and hopefully it can continue that momentum going. And then we saw it on Monday. We seen the Steelers game, which was a move from Sunday to Monday. The Steelers went in to play the Buffalo Bills. Steelers had fell down 21-0 at one point, and then they kind of cut it a little close, a little bit. It was 17-24. It was within one score, and then they got walked down by the Bills, and the Bills finished the game 31-17, the blowout, and beat the Steelers. And now the Bills are heading to play the Chiefs. And then we also seen the Eagles kind of just look not like the Eagles. I thought the Eagles were going to probably bounce back from those losses that they had, bounce back and kind of get into the playoffs and get back to that groove, because they are the reigning defending NFC champions, but they just couldn't find a way to muster out enough juice, enough energy, and they got eliminated by the Buccaneers. So a lot of things happened. That was a blowout too as well. So every game but the Rams and Lions game was a blowout. But I think the next round we should see some more competitive games. And most of these games, the reason the blowout happened is not because the teams the bad matchups are playing, it's like a turnovers. There's a lot of turnovers. A lot of the reason the teams lost, they played the style that they wasn't used to. The Browns, of course, Flacco turned the ball over, but the Browns was not playing the style they once played, with the defense going out there and stopping things. You look at the Cowboys, they not play the way they supposed to play against the Packers and stuff. And you look at the Steelers, they was coming in being the second fewest turnovers this entire season, but they came in and turned the ball over, the fumbles, the interception thrown in their own end zone. And you look at the Eagles did lose 5 of their last 6, of course. But I thought they'd at least shake it off and find a way to like muster out the victory at least. And then you look at some of the other games, what else game they had I might have missed. What else game was there? Or the Dolphins. The Dolphins, I know they were coming off of 2 back-to-back losses, but they're not the Dolphins offense we've seen. Because the Dolphins was usually able to run the football very well and very effectively. But this game right here, they just couldn't get anything going, anything mustered out, and they just kind of just fell short and stuff. So a lot of the teams that got blown out, a lot of the teams that lost really didn't play their style. I think the only team that played their style was the Rams. They just came up short a little bit. But a lot of other teams didn't play their style. Like they did kind of the opposite of what got them there to the playoffs. And if you do that, when you start doing that, you kind of like put yourself in a bind, and you're going to lose, of course. But now we got some good matchups coming up. Divisional round picks. We have the Texans heading to play the Ravens. Now that game right there will be a very interesting game. We got the young CJ Stroud, who's making a name for himself. They are underdogs, of course, heading into that, heading to Baltimore, and I think Baltimore beat them early in the season as well. Had a big time showing against them. So we're gonna see if young CJ Stroud can avenge that loss and come back and make something happen. But if you ask me, I think I will actually go with the underdog picks, the Texans, in this game right here. Now I know the Ravens are a better team on paper, and the Ravens have been a better team this season, but I gotta prove it to me in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson has got to prove it to me in the playoffs. He's an amazing player. About to be a 2-time MVP, 2-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler, one of the best out there. But he got to prove it to me in the playoffs when it matters most to go out there and make some plays and get it done. So hopefully he does do that. But I'm gonna roll with the Texans. I'm gonna roll with the underdog. I'm picking all the underdogs. I want to roll with the underdogs. I want to see something different, something new. But I think the Ravens, they do play like they're supposed to play. They should win this game. But I'm gonna pick the Texans just in case because I feel like the Texans might get it done. And plus, I'm a Steelers fan. I'm not gonna pick my rival team to win anything. So I'm picking the Texans to get it done. Now, moving on to the next game, which would be the Chiefs and the Bills. Chiefs and Bills going to have a showdown. Every time they play, it's always some type of crazy fireworks, some crazy things going on, and like it's like some big games. Remember that one time where they went to overtime and Mahomes with the magic that happened, he threw the ball to Travis Kelce to get the field goal to take them to overtime, and then in overtime delivering the ball to Travis Kelce over the top for the win. I think this game right here, the Bills get it done. I think this time the Bills finally get it done. Eventually, you see, you have a lot of rivalry matchups, a lot of big matchups. I know the Bills beat the Chiefs in the regular season, and they beat in the regular season multiple times, but in the playoffs, they just can't find a way to beat them. They lost to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. They lost to the Chiefs in the divisional round. So we're going to see this time, can they get it done? Third time the charm. So they can get it done against the Chiefs and go out victorious. I'm picking the Bills in this one. I think it'll be a very good showing. It might go to overtime. And now the new overtime rule is here where if the team scores, you get an opportunity to score and match it like that. So we're going to see what happens. Now, next game after that, I believe, what's the other game playing? It's another game. Oh, Lions. Lions will be facing the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are heading to Detroit to play the Lions. I think the Lions should have this game in the bag. I think the Lions, they play their style, they play their game, and just keep playing the way they are. And, Dan Campbell is a very good coach. Coach Campbell is going to go out there and get those guys ready. So he's going to be playing his style and be playing hard-nosed football, running the football with Gibbs and David Montgomery and letting Jared Goff hit and fire on different cylinders down the field and play action. I think they should be able to win this game against the Buccaneers. Buccaneers, don't get me wrong, they did a good job in getting to the playoffs, winning the division, and also, winning the first playoff game against the Eagles. The Eagles did not look like the Eagles, though, for the past 5 weeks. I have no idea what's going on with them. I know they banged up and injured, but they don't look the same. They don't look the same. But I think the Buccaneers keep the game competitive. I think the Lions will probably win. I'm going to say 28-18. I think the Lions 28-18. Let's see. The last game will be Packers and 49ers. In my opinion, I think the 49ers should win the game, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers give them a little run for their money. The Packers offense, like I mentioned before in the previous video, their offense, I believe in their offense. I trust their offense. Remember I said in the preview, I said I don't trust their defense, so I feel like the Cowboys were the one who was supposed to have been winning that game, by a little bit, maybe about a game-winning drive or so. But the Packers defense showed up big time in that first playoff game against the Cowboys. So maybe the Packers defense will kind of get into groove. I know throughout the season they had moments where they showed up and some moments where they was like inconsistent and stuff. So hopefully this time they show up. But in my opinion, I think the 49ers is a better team. I think the 49ers get it done. Through their rushing attack, Brock Purdy and those guys, and lead the team back to the NFC Championship game for the third or fourth straight year. Is it third straight year? The third or fourth straight year. I think, they went there with the Rams, the Eagles. Yeah, it'll be third straight year. So we're going to see what happens this time. But, it'll be amazing. I think the 49ers was the team that broke the Eagles because the Eagles have not looked the same. And as I'm making this video, the Eagles game is on right now. And then the score is 32-9. It's just crazy, absolutely crazy to see what happened. But a lot of the teams that lost in the first round, they got blown out. They did not play their style. They did not play the game that they're supposed to be playing. And you see a lot of mishap happen. But a lot of those teams will be bouncing back. A lot of those teams got a lot of young talent and getting there. And you look at a team I feel like a team that's to win the Super Bowl, in my opinion, since my team is out the playoffs now, I'll probably say the Lions. I'd love to see the Lions win the Super Bowl. Of course, I don't like people going to say the 49ers, the Ravens and stuff. I like to see the Lions or Texans. Lions never won a Super Bowl before. Texans never won a Super Bowl before either like that. So imagine Lions or Texans going out there and winning the Super Bowl like that. That right there, especially, look at the Lions. If Jared Goff go out there and lead the Lions to the Super Bowl win, Coach Campbell, Gibbs, all those guys, Amon St. Brown, those guys' name will be engraved in history forever. They're going to be engraved in history by the way they keep playing, of course. They're going to be engraved in history forever like that, because that would be like some historic stuff, like winning the team his first championship ever. And then you look at the Texans and C.J. Stroud, his first year as a rookie, and Coach DeMeco Ryans' first year as a head coach. He played for the Texans, a former All-Pro, multiple-time Pro Bowler with the Texans as well, good player with the Texans. go out there and win a Super Bowl for the Texans in their first year as a tandem, that right there is going to put them on a different landscape, and they're going to be engraved in history of Houston sports forever. So I love to see either one of those. So either the Lions, my first pick, or the Texans like that win a Super Bowl. That would be actually great to see. But that's all I got for this video today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did like this video, leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.